Hello and welcome back to the Spellcorp Industrial Complex, where it's been a minute. I haven't been here in a couple of weeks now, so sorry to leave you waiting, but I had things to do. The real world beckoned. Life got in the way, but now we're back. We're finally back, and what are we doing today? Well, we're continuing the slow but steady progression towards the All the Mods star by continuing with more Mekanism stuff. Today we're going to get our reactor set up. We're hopefully going to get nuclear waste. We're going to be making Polonium. I'm hoping we can get to antimatter because I just watched a whole bunch of YouTube tutorials to figure out how all this stuff works, and I'm excited to get into it. But first things first, we're going to follow the quest line, and it wants us to start with our fission reactor. And I don't really want to build this at our base here. I'm a little afraid because I don't want to blow anything up. So I think we're going to build the fission reactor away from all of this. I do not want it here. I don't want to damage anything. So we're probably just going to go build it in the mining dimension and then make sure it's chunk loaded all the time. Ooh, it's very dark in here today. Hopefully it gets a little brighter soon. Sun is rising. The basic idea behind what we're doing here is we're building a fission reactor. So that's a reactor that I believe splits the uranium or whatever, or the fuel, and it breaks it. And you can't see it. I'm doing things with my hand. It breaks it. It splits that particle, creating a huge amount of heat. And we want to superheat some water, and then put that water, it becomes steam when it's super, super hot. And we put that into a turbine, and that turbine spins super fast and generates power. And that's what we're going to be doing. But we need blocks. And then we use all that power to get... Actually, I don't even know. We're already making a ton of power. I think the whole goal is to actually get nuclear waste so that we can reprocess the nuclear waste. I'm pretty sure that's what I want to do. First thing we're going to do, we're going to make sure we're within the chunk boundary for our reactor because that's super important. And let me follow this guide here. It does 3x3. I can handle that. Watch this. I'm just going to guess. I think I can build this like the back of my hand. 4 tall. I definitely have no idea how to build the back of my hand. That would be a bit of a tricky challenge. Like this. Okay. And glass. I have reactor glass. So we can line the rest of the walls. But I have to put my fuel assembly inside. And we're actually missing... Don't you need a control rod of some kind? This isn't going to work, is it? It's not going to work. I need a control rod. I thought the quest told me how to make that. Oh, the quest definitely did tell me to make a control rod, and I just ignored it. So we'll go do that. Control rod made. I really think I should make a quantum link card to link my crafting terminal up because if I'm going to be traveling here a lot, I want blocks. But this should hopefully get it working. Control rod and bink bink. It should do. What am I missing? What did I do? Does the floor have to be made of blocks? What's wrong with it? Oh, every fission reactor needs a minimum of 4 ports. It only made me make 2. I only made 2. Off to a great start today, I see. Of just me forgetting everything I need. Oh, there's my exit. Oh, wait. Why is it? It's just working now. I don't even need the 4 ports. Why would it do this? Okay, well, I made the stuff anyways. What we have to do now is we need to fill up our coolant. We need to fill up our fuel tank. Easiest way to fill up our coolant is using a sink, which I also don't have. And then for fuel, we're actually going to need this fissile fuel. Fissile fuel, which is a gas made from uranium hexafluoride, which is a gas made from uranium oxide and hydrofluoric acid and down the line, and you have to make a bunch of stuff. So we're going to have to do some more Mekanism stuff. I think first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up our crafting terminal because I don't want to have to keep coming back and forth. So let me do that. And then we'll get some fissile fuel and some coolant stuff going. We just put one in here and another in my card with this quantum bridge card. I think we're good to go now. Now if we go into the mining dimension, we should hopefully be able to access our stuff. We certainly can. Would you look at that? Amazing. It is very misty, foggy here. Weird. Okay, well, fissile fuel time. Let's make an isotopic centrifuge. I already made a recipe for this. It's just some lead, chemical tank, and ultimate control circuits. Some of these recipes that require like unstackable items are actually just broken. Why is it not making this? It's probably trying to use a tank that I already have, isn't it? What if I just make one? So it lets me make one. But then this recipe just doesn't work. So isotopic, why is it not going? It just gets hung up. I have no idea why. If you know why those are getting stuck, let me know, because I have all the parts and I crafted it like nothing. Let's throw it here. I want to make sure. Hopefully I can get everything to fit in one chunk. That would be crazy. We'll put it here because we're going to pump our fissile fuel right into the machine. We also need some sort of coolant coming in, and we're going to use water as our coolant. So we need a fission reactor port like this, and we're going to throw a sink. We can see in our inventory our coolant tank is currently empty. If I take my ultimate mechanical pipe and I fill her up, coolant starts going up. Amazing. Back to the fissile fuel. Okay, well, from the fissile fuel, we need uranium hexafluoride, which is a chemical infuser with hydrofluoric acid and uranium oxide. Let's make the uranium oxide first. This is made from oxidizing yellow cake uranium, which is made from enriching uranium ingots. And we have a source of uranium. We have tons of that flowing in. I luckily have seeds made for that. But we need an enriching chamber, and we need a chemical. Was it an oxidizer we needed? I think so. I think that's what it called for. Yeah, to make yellow cake uranium. And then we need a chemical infuser flowing into the isotopic centrifuge. So do I have a chemical infuser? I don't have one. Can I make all of the components of one? I certainly can. And we'll take our chemical infuser, and we're going to put you here. And all of this is going to need powered too, hey? Oh boy, this is going to look a little bit spaghetti. If you've ever played something like Factorio, that's kind of what we're going to have here, I think. So we want our chemical oxidizer to flow. Why can't I get it to point the way I want? Like that? Okay. And we can have an enrichment chamber. And then this should be all we'll need. Just so I can turn off these stupid chunk borders, I have outlined our area with this little hazard tape. So we know that this is the one chunk space right here that I'd like to try to stay within, if I can. So, yeah, let's grab some power. If we pull this as is and throw uranium, we should hopefully be getting the right stuff. So this is making yellow cake uranium, and we want to auto-eject the output from the left side into here. And we want you to take input from that side, and then output gases to that side, and that's making uranium oxide. So if we take our pressurized tubes, that should be putting uranium oxide in there. Awesome, and we can upgrade these all with speed upgrades, can't we? Yes, speed and energy, and that I will be doing, because if there's anything I can't stand in Mekanism, it's a slow machine. There we go, that's getting lots of uranium in there. We do need a way to be piping uranium indirectly to this machine, so I think we're just going to use ender chests and run them. Unless we want to make another quantum link to our machine. Yeah, you know what? Let's make another quantum link from our network, and we can have that hook up our ME system so we can auto pipe some uranium into here, which will be pretty good. Also, this is another recipe that keeps getting stuck. Energy cells. And I think it's once again because they're an unstackable. I don't know what's going on there, but it made the terminal fine. Well, I'm going to go figure that out. Okay, we have our quantum ring installed. We should be able to just run a cable out from it and pump all the stuff we could ever want into these machines. Like if I grab an export bus and some acceleration cards and like that, it should start throwing uranium in. It'll fill that up, and it will slowly fill up this cable and the excess space here with uranium oxide. So we'll have a large amount of it. Awesome. So we have that all flowing in. Now we need to make What what do we need to make? Hydrofluoric acid, which is fluorite and sulfuric acid in a chemical dissolution chamber. And I think I have a recipe made for all of this. So we have a chemical dissolution chamber, and we want to be putting that stuff into here. And on this here, we're going to want to put fluorite into it, which I also believe I am growing at the moment on our farm. So now we just have to make sulfuric acid, which is what? Sulfur dust turned into gas, chemical infuser of water vapor, sulfur trioxide. How do we make sulfur dust? Chemical injection chamber, pressurized reaction chamber on coal blocks. This is the way to go. That's the way to do it for sure. I'm going to spare you guys the headache. I'm going to work all this out, and I'm just going to show you what I have in the end and explain it, because this is a lot. Okay, I got something happening here. Check this out. This is the whole system. It's making fissile fuel. I'm full up here, and this pipe here is slowly filling up with a backlog. It's making a decent amount. We're getting like 1,000 every second or so, 1,000 millibuckets, so like a bucket's worth. How does this work though? Well, we have this chemical infuser making uranium hexafluoride from uranium oxide and hydrofluoric acid, okay? And those two things... What the heck? One moment. What was that? Oh, that's embarrassing. I definitely was playing V-Rising and left it open and on a server, and noises were playing. I've muted it. We're good now. Further interruptions will not happen anymore. Uranium oxide is made from chemical oxidizing yellow cake uranium, which we're making... Oh my god, we have so much. We're just turning uranium into yellow cake uranium, feeding it into there, and that's going. Then the hydrofluoric acid is we take sulfuric acid, break down fluorite in a chemical dissolution chamber, and then that is pulling from a chemical infuser. Some of this stuff, I don't even know if it's necessary anymore. What is happening here? A chemical infuser making sulfuric acid out of water vapor and trioxide, which is made from oxygen and sulfur dioxide, and the oxygen's coming from an electrolytic separator right there. And then I have 3 machines here, 3 chemical oxidizers crushing down sulfur into sulfur dioxide. This isn't even really enough to keep up. It's still pretty slow, I think, but we're getting a good amount now. Hopefully this will maintain the fuel in our reactor. We might have to add a kill switch just to be safe, but this is how it's going. Sulfur, I'm actually just making at the base. We have a Mystical Crops farm growing sulfur for us. We might have to look at adding more. I don't know if this is going up or down on the net. It looks like it's slowly going down, so we might have to add more. Okay, well that's no problem. Anyways, back to further reactor stuff. We now have fuel. We can pump our fuel right in, I think. And I think it's just a pressurized stuff. And we're full of fissile fuel. We're full of coolant. Should we turn this on? Are we safe to turn this on yet? Well, we actually need to take the reactor's waste out. So we do need a waste barrel. One of these radioactive waste barrels. We're going to need a few of these, I think. So we're going to go like that. Put it here, and we're gonna take our pressurized tube and pump it into that. And in fact, these are dangerous. If you break these while they have stuff in them, then it's GG, game over. You're gonna make everything radioactive. We're gonna put it here because we might have to run this across to process it all. But should we just give this a try? Should we see what happens? Do we need? I guess we actually need a turbine set up first, hey? Before I can do anything else. Okay, let's do a turbine. Because the whole point of this is just to create steam at the moment. And the turbine makes power, so let's do that. Okay, let's see if we can figure out how to build this correctly. As far as I can tell, similar in that we have a turbine frame outline, something like this. The one they show me in the quest log is 7 tall, so that's that. We're gonna have a valve here to pull in some steamy stuff. I think that should be all there. And then maybe a valve here to pull out power. The very top of this one is glass. And then I think we need an electromagnetic coil and these saturating condensers if we want to repurpose steam back into water. And then I need valves or pressure dispensers. What do I need? Okay, so the pressure dispersers go here, right? And then we surround those around a rotational complex. And then our rotors go in there. And rotor blades go all the way up. Awesome, just like that. And then we have to put vents all along these sides. And enclose the rest of it in glass, and we should have a functioning turbine. It's not working. Something's wrong. I didn't do something right. Something is wrong. What's wrong? Oh, there we go. I think I was maybe just missing a glass block or something somewhere, but we have the turbine completed. Max production, 438 kilo-FE per tick. Now we just need to pull water into here, or steam into here. So I need another reactor valve. Let's just break that. It's gonna mess everything up. Fills back up. That's good there. We have, we have a lot of fissile fuel being made. Amazing. How's our sulfur coming along? We are running out. I'm gonna have to make more seeds. Okay. But for now, this should be good. Let's grab, what do we need? Steam is pressurized, right? So we're gonna run gas into here. And what happens if we just turn this on? Everything looks good, right? Turn it on. Oh my god, it's so loud. It's so loud. Temperature's going up. Damage staying at 0. Burn rate 0.1 millibuckets per tick. Okay. I don't know how much we're making. I'd have to calculate how much we're actually making here to be able to decide how much I should be burning. Making 256 every like second or so. How's this coming? This is doing nothing. Is it? It's not doing anything at the moment. This is producing steam, but not pulling steam out. Why not? Do I have to set this to something? And we're producing some radioactive waste. Oh, here's what you need. You need to, not like that. You need to change this though, right? Configure, set it to output waste. So for example, now we'll be getting, wait, let's just reset this. Oh wait, this is empty, right? Okay, make sure it's empty before moving it. But we take pressurized here. We should be getting nuclear waste put in this barrel. 130 millibuckets. Yeah, okay. Waste is going in that barrel. Good. And steam, if we shift right click this, output coolant. What do we want to put on here? Is it output coolant? That's outputting nuclear waste now. Great. Just great. Exactly what I needed. Is steam a coolant? Yeah. So I need another waste barrel. Okay. We have to drain this of nuclear waste. Now, that's putting steam in here. I have to bring this nuclear waste out of this barrel. Oh, it's filling with steam. So can I break this? Okay, good. I'm very nervous with everything here. Okay. This has steam in it, so that's fine. We can actually then just pull steam out, can I not? Let's, oh boy. Pull the steam back out of this barrel so I can break it. Okay, there we go. We're all set. We got steam coming in here. We're producing a very tiny amount of power. Very, very little. But that's okay, because what I'm actually looking for right now is I want this nuclear waste, which is coming in not super fast. Let's do a little bit of math. We're making way more than we're using. I'm making about a bucket every second, it looks like. And every second there's 20 ticks. So if we want to change our burn rate, well, if we're making a bucket a second, that's 1,000 millibuckets divided by 20 ticks. We're making about 50 ticks a second. 50 millibuckets a tick, sorry. So we're burning at 2 millibuckets a tick. What if we just set it to, I don't know, 5? Is that, how do I set the rate limit? 5 millibuckets, 550, 500. How do you do anything with this? Oh wait, my max burn rate's only 2 millibuckets a tick, so let's set it to that. And now we should be making a little bit more. My coolant can't keep up, can it? That's dangerous. Huh. Will the coolant steady out, or is it actually just going to slowly run out? Our coolant is just constantly going down, though. We're not putting it in fast enough. I wonder then if I can just add more coolant ports and pump even more in. Now our coolant seems to be staying steady. I just have 3 sinks pumping into it, but it's not changing, so that's good. We're using a little bit more fuel, but I think we're still producing a net positive, so that's good. Power is coming into here, 22 mega FE, whatever. Now, next stage for us is we have to start taking this radioactive waste, this nuclear waste, and producing polonium and whatever else it'll make for us, right? So we need plutonium and we need polonium. Awesome. So I need solar neutron activators and more isotopic centrifuges. So to make our antimatter, we're going to need the supercritical phase shifter, which means I need this casing stuff, which requires polonium and plutonium. And plutonium, we need fluorite dust, plutonium gas, water, and you get plutonium by throwing nuclear waste into an isotopic centrifuge. So we're going to pull that stuff over here, and we're going to get the next stage kind of going here. So let's pull some of this stuff out. We need pressurized tubes, I think. Can you not pull from the side? Do I have to pull from underneath? I guess so. Into an isotopic centrifuge. I'm so scared to be messing with any of this. This should be putting nuclear waste in here. We can turn this around because it's facing the wrong way. Nuclear waste like that. And that's taking nuclear waste and converting it into plutonium. Will not decay inside a radioactive barrel. Let's grab some power into here. And now we have to pump the plutonium into a pressurized reaction chamber with water and fluorite dust. And fluorite dust is crushed fluorite. Okay, so we just need some more of this stuff. Let's grab a crushing factory, throw it maybe, we'll go like this. It's got cobblestone in it. Hello, cobblestone. Have it fill this with fluorite, and then that's going to be getting crushed. Now we have a pressurized chamber here with plutonium. We have crushed fluorite coming in, getting exported by our system, and we should just be able to turn on eject, or we say we want this one to input from that side. There we go. And now that's making all the good stuff. Plutonium pellets, which we can then pull out. This spent nuclear waste we'll have to do something with. I think we can actually... I wonder if I can put this in my ME system and destroy it somehow. There's actually this radioactive chemical storage cell, and maybe we can make this. I mean, we're pretty close to being able to make this, if anything, and we could store the gas that way. Now, interestingly though, if we take a pressurized tube here and pull out that spent nuclear waste, we might even be able to just dispose of it in an interesting way. So it puts it in the cable. Now, if we throw this here, can we dispose of spent nuclear waste directly into the fluid trash can? It doesn't seem to work. I know certain gases, like hydrogen, I was able to destroy in here. I guess it just knows not to get rid of waste that way. Maybe if we use the ultimate trash can, we can? No. No, it does not. Even if we whitelist it. Even if we whitelist spent nuclear waste, it does not let me do it. That's too bad. With plutonium being made, now we need polonium, which is water and polonium, which is nuclear waste in a solar neutron activator. And these Require bronze and HDPE sheets, which means I need to make HDPE, which requires liquid ethylene and oxygen. Oh my goodness, there's so much to do! There we go. We got this crazy looking setup here. We're growing potatoes that are getting smelted, that are getting crushed into biofuel, that's getting pumped and pressurized into substrate, that's getting what is even happening here? The substrate gets pulled here, and then there's liquid ethylene that gets made, that gets turned into liquid ethylene, that gets pumped into this pressurized reaction chamber, so we get liquid ethylene, oxygen, and substrate to make HDPE pellets, and those are getting turned into HDPE sheets that are then getting thrown in our ME system. And we now have HDPE, 221 of them right now, so we should be good to make our solar neutron activator. And I think if we just take this and throw it here, I don't know how this works. I'm going to guess it's very similar. And I just pull stuff like this, throw nuclear waste in here, slowly make polonium, which we then have to make a pressurized reaction chamber to make more spent nuclear waste and fluoride dust. Okay. Okay. Great. So now I just have to wait for a bunch of these stuff to get made, right? Because after polonium, we're making supercritical phase shifter. You need so much. You need so much. Oh my goodness. Reactor glass, SPS ports. Each of these takes 4 polonium pellets. This is going to take forever. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this today. One can only hope. One can only hope we're going to get to antimatter. Let's see. I'm gonna rewire this setup a little bit, and we'll see what we can't get going. I wonder how difficult it is to get radioactive bees. Dying to radiation has a chance to turn into wasted radioactive bees. They don't pollinate on any flower, but instead absorb radiation from their surroundings. Oh boy, I don't know, these sound tricky, but they make a lot of nuclear waste, and this is really slow. I think the best way for me to make more nuclear waste is for me to make a bigger reactor with a bigger burn rate. So I guess I'm just gonna do that, because I can't sit around and wait for this all day. I got stuff to do. Okay, this is just taking way too long. We're not going to be able to finish this today, but we've made a good start, okay? One thing I've realized, too, this solar neutron activator, unfortunately, only works during the day. So overnight, it's just filling up with nuclear waste, and then a day comes and it brings more polonium in here. But at the moment, we have 21 polonium pellets, and we have 14 plutonium pellets. I actually turned off, the connection to the plutonium making thing, just for the moment, because I needed more polonium. It's 4 and 1 for each recipe. So we're gonna make our first SPS casing, and that's gonna feel good. Look at this. We got one of those. Can I make more? We've made 5 of them. We've made 5 SPS casings. These are gonna be great. We need what, 60? I need 60 SPS casings and 3 SPS ports. Oh boy. It's gonna take some time to do that. But in between episodes here, I think I'm gonna AFK to try to get some more of the stuff set up, and I might even look at making a bigger mechanism reactor so that we can get a higher burn rate, so that we can use more fuel and get more nuclear waste flowing in. Because if we use this network reader, it actually tells me my throughput. I'm only getting 2 millibuckets per tick of waste, and we're only using 2 millibuckets per tick of fissile fuel, but this pipe is full. There's 2 million millibuckets in here. So we're making way more than we're using. So if I can figure out a decent ratio where we're only making a little bit more than we're using, something to keep us just above the maximum production of, just below the maximum production of our fissile fuel, then we can find a good balance of nuclear waste production and make a ton of that, and then we can be getting more polonium, more plutonium, and just advance a little quicker. So I'm going to work on that between episodes, but that's all I have today for you. I learned a lot about mechanism reactors today. Hopefully you learned something too. If you have something you want to teach me, leave a comment down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you aren't already, and we'll see you next time at the Spellcorp Industrial Complex, where hopefully finally we'll make antimatter and maybe a big fusion reactor. That'll be cool and lots of power. Thanks. Bye-bye.